Hello, 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 hello. Hi, guys. Hi, how are you? Hello. Hi. I hope that you can hear me. I hope that you can see me. Hi. Hello, guys. Let me check the sound real quick. Oh, yeah, I can hear that. I hope that you can hear that too. So, hi, guys. How are you today? I hope that everything's fine for you. I hope that the weather is really nice. And I hope that you're having a wonderful weekend. So, today is Sunday, and as you know, each Sunday, 5 p.m. sharp Moscow time, we are having a YouTube live. Yay! Kudos to that. So, today we will talk about articles. Why do we need them? Maybe we don't need them, who knows? And why bother? Really, why do we need to study them? And if we need to study them, that's a really nice question too. Okay, so I hope that everything works fine. I hope that you can see my presentation. But let me start with a bit of introduction. So let me just introduce myself real quick. My name is Daria, and you probably already know by now, if you have watched any of our streams, that I am a teacher at a very nice online school, which is called Учёба.ру. I graduated from Sochi State University. I passed my CAE exam and I passed my TKT exams. I studied both in Russia and in the UK. And I am a keen nature photographer. I'm in love with sunsets and sundawns. And I am in love with coffee. So this is my trusty coffee mug, which helps me survive basically and function properly. So that's it about me. I'm here today to talk about articles, but as usual, I am not alone. And if you hear the sirens, please don't be alarmed. I just live near the fire station and near the police station, which are the neighboring buildings. So, as I already said, I'm not alone here. I am today here with a very good, the best in my opinion, online school Учёба.ру. And we have got 12,000 graduates who passed языке and ОГЭ with us. Can you just imagine this number? That's 12,000 guys, a lot of people, which is really cool in my opinion. And 4,200 of those students got their 5 for ОГЭ, and they got 80 plus for their языке, which is really nice. And of course, none of this would be even remotely possible without the amazing team of teachers, which I am a proud part of. And how do we do this? How do we get these results? First off, we can guarantee you the entrance to the university if, and only if, you follow our instructions. First off, you need to prepare with us for 3 exams. 3 exams. That's really important, guys. And another very important part is when you don't miss classes and you do your homework. Because, if you miss something, you have to think about it at the exam. You have to take some extra time to understand it. And doing your homework is also a very important thing. So, and how do we check it? First off, we have got a progress check, which is a mock exam every month. This is like a real exam with the same time limits, with the same tasks, as if it is the real one. But of course, this is just the preparation. All of our mock exams are checked by the experts of языке and ОГЭ. So, yeah. And of course, we have different level groups, which definitely helps you study at your own pace. So these are our key components to success and to successful entrance to the university. So and let's have a look at what we are going to talk about today. So in the spotlight today, we have articles. The first one is the indefinite article. Indefinite article is what? An, right? Right. The next thing that we're going to talk about today is the definite article, which is the. And the whole point is articles at the exam. So why do we need them? Do we even need them? Because we don't have articles in Russian. That is why a lot of students struggle with them. And maybe it's okay for us not to use them during the exam at all. Like, maybe there is a slight chance not to do that. Well, guys, big spoiler alert, no, it is not possible. So yeah, let us have a look at them. Let us find out when to use them, when not to use them, what to do with them, and how they can actually help us understand what's going on with our exams, with our KIM, which is your task list, and with everything else that you have to know, you need to know for your exam. So let's start with the indefinite article first. So what is the indefinite article? That is a or an, right? So a, an. By the way, when is a and when is an? It is all about the sounds, because we can say a daughter, a mother. All of them, daughter, mother, they start with what? They don't start with a vowel, right? They start with a consonant. So if you see a consonant and the sound is consonant, you need to use a. But we also have vowels, and for example, an umbrella, an academy, right? Right. So if the word starts with a vowel sound, we use n. So it's not about the letter, because university and umbrella, they start with the same letter U, right? But we will say a university, but an umbrella. Why? Because university starts with the y sound, which is a consonant sound, and an umbrella starts with a, which is a vowel sound. So yeah, it's not about the letter, guys. It's all about the sound, right? I hope that this is clear. And let us have a look at when we need to use it. So first and foremost, we use a or an, our indefinite article, with singular countable nouns when we talk about them in general. For example, I want to buy a dress. Like, I want to buy any dress. It doesn't really matter. I just want a dress. I don't want to feel a bit girly. I just want to feel pretty, right? So I want to buy a dress. It doesn't really matter which dress I want to buy, right? Right. So in this case, when it doesn't really matter which one, I just want, in general, a dress. Any dress will do. I don't know. Floor length, knee length, over the knee length, maybe shirt one. Any. Red, beige, yellow, green. It doesn't really matter. I just want to buy a dress. Cool. The next one is with the verbs to be and to have got. For example, Mary has got a dog. We don't know what kind of a dog Mary has, right? We have no idea. We have not seen Mary's dog in our life. So in this case, we need to say that Mary has got a dog, right? It's a German Shepherd. It's not this one. It's not a specific German Shepherd. It's just some or one German Shepherd. We once again don't know which one. So with the verbs to be and to have got, we need to use the indefinite article, a or an, depending on what, guys? What does it depend on? Is it a? Is it an? Of course, it depends on the sound. Okay. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next thing. This one is quite interesting. Before Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Ms., when we refer to an unknown person. For example, you have no idea what my last name is, right? Maybe you do. But there is one person. I know this person's name, but I don't know this person in person, so to say. In this case, I will say, a Mrs. Jones called you this morning. I don't know this Mrs. Jones. I just know that this person's name is Mrs. Jones, right? So if we don't know this person, we can refer to them a Mrs. Jones, or a Mr. Smith, and so on. So for example, you don't know me, you would say a Mrs. Vidunova, and so on. Okay, also, we use it to show something. To show what? What kind of a show with an article? Well, we can show a lot of things with the articles. Then first and foremost, being price in relation to weight. For example, in this case, we've got 2 pounds a kilo. But for example, let's say, I don't know, 10 rubles per kilo. Yeah. The next thing that we can do and we can show is distance in relation to speed. For example, 80 kilometers an hour, right? 80 kilometers an hour. And this one, guys, is one more thing I wanted to pay your attention to. H is a consonant, right? But we don't pronounce it. We say an hour. So this way it's N. So one more time, we are paying attention not to the letter. We are paying attention to the sound. And of course, we can use the indefinite article to talk about frequency. For example, we have got our streams once a week. Or, for example, we have got the lessons twice a week, right? Right. Okay, so I hope this is clear. If it is not clear, please comment down below any questions that you have. I will be very, very happy to answer them. And we are moving on. And we are moving on to the definite article. There is just one, and it is called the. The. So when do we use the? And when do we need it? We already talked about when we need a. So let's have a look at when to use the. First and foremost, with nouns, when we are talking about something specific. That is when the noun is mentioned for the second time or is already known. Do you remember that example with the dress that I told you about? When I want to buy a dress, it doesn't matter which dress, right, at that point. But, for example, I wanted to buy it, then I bought something, and I'm telling my friend, I bought a shirt and a dress. That dress which I bought is blue and the shirt is green. So because these dress and these shirt are mentioned for the second time here, we use the. We already know what we are talking about. It's not some random dress, it's not some random shirt, right? So we know what we are talking about, and because we know what we are talking about, we need to use the definite article the. Okay, I hope that's clear, and we are moving on to the next one. With nouns which are unique. So there are many unique things in the world, and we need to use the with them. For example, the sun, the Eiffel Tower, just the Tower of London. Yeah. The next thing is when we are talking about the names of the cinemas. For example, the Rex, the Odeon. In my hometown, there used to be the Sputnik cinema, which I liked a lot. So yeah, if I told about it, I should have used the Sputnik. Another thing is hotels. Guys, do you like traveling? Well, I do like traveling, and each time we're staying at a hotel, you need to use the with the name of this hotel. For example, like here, the Carlton. Very nice one, by the way. By the way, guys, have you ever stayed at the Carlton? If yes, comment down below your impressions. Another thing where we need to use the is theaters. So when we are talking about the theaters, we need to use that. For example, one of the most famous theaters in the world, the Shakespeare's theater, which is called the Globe. Right? It is the theater, the name of the theater, so we call it the Globe. Another point when we need to use the definite article, which one, guys? The. Is when we're talking about museums. The British Museum is here as an example, but of course with any museum we need to use the. Well, I hope it is clear. I hope that you can follow me. So, and we are moving on to newspapers and magazines. Newspapers and magazines, for example, the Times, but we also need to remember that it's Time magazine, not the Time magazine, but just Time magazine. With the names of the ships, for example, the Mary Rose, the Titanic, one of the most famous ships in the history, the Titanic. Also, we use it with organizations such as the United Nations, right? Such as the European Union and so on, such as the EU, the UN, with organizations. And of course with galleries, that is kind of similar to museums, but yeah. For example, here in London, we've got the Tate Gallery and the Tate Modern Gallery. So yeah, we've got the Tate Gallery. This is where we need to use the. Okay. Any questions so far? Just know, comment down below. And while you are typing your questions, if you have any, we are moving on to some more points. Yeah, guys, that is a thing which takes a lot of time to talk about because it has a lot of points where we definitely need to use this definite article that. So, let us move on. Usually we say with like bodies of water when we are at the lesson, but here I've got a bit more specific mentioning. So with the names of the rivers, for example, the Nile, the Volga, the Thames. With the names of the seas, the Caspian Sea, the Black Sea, the Red Sea. Groups of islands, the British Isles, because it's a group, it's not just one, it's the group. The Maldives. With mountain ranges, the Alps, right? With the names of the deserts, like the Sahara Desert. With the names of the oceans, like the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and so on. With the names of the canals, like the Panama Canal. So yeah, with the names of the canals, we also need to use that. With the countries, this one is interesting because when the name of the country has such words as state or kingdom or republic, so when basically it is a union of something. For example, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, we've got United Kingdom, right? Or for example, when we have the United States, right? So basically, when we have a unity of several things, we need to use the. Also, when we have, this is not about the countries, but if we have of in the name, we also need to use the. For example, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? And of course, the equator, the North or South Pole, just the north of England, or the north-south with the places in the earth, like south, the south, the west, the north, the east, and so on. Okay, I hope this is clear, and if it is not, please leave your comments down below, and we are moving on in the meantime. This is not it, guys, but we are getting closer to it. So, when also do we need to use that? With the names of musical instruments and dances. For example, the piano. For example, you like playing the piano, and I say, I play the piano all the time. Or you like dancing the tango. You would say, I dance the tango. With the names of families. For example, if you mean the whole family, together, you need to use the definite article there. For example, like here I have the Windsors, right? Or the royal family, right? Or for example, the Ivanovs, the Petrovs, the Sidorovs, and so on. And with nationalities, this one is tricky. If a nationality ends with an sh, ch, or ese, then we need to use that. For example, the French, because ch, the Scottish, because sh, right? The Japanese, the Chinese, and so on, because ese. If we're talking about other plural nationalities, it's kind of up to you. You can use it with the article, or you can use it without the article. So you can say the Americans, you can say the Greeks, or also you can say Americans and Greeks. So it's up to you. With the titles, for example, the King, the Prince of Wales, the President. But if we have the name there, for example, King Charles III, Charles III is his name. That is why we don't need that. Or Queen Elizabeth II. Also, we don't need that there because Elizabeth is her name. But if we just say the king, the queen, the prince, the princess, the duchess, the duke, or the president, for example, then because this is a title, we need that. Next one, with the adjectives. And this one is my favorite. The most respected man in the firm. The most beautiful girl in this town. The most difficult task. So when we are talking about adjectives, which are the best, the most, and blah, 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 we absolutely need to use the. Well, I hope this is also clear, and let us move on. So what we have here is with the words morning, afternoon, evening. And for example, we say we eat dinner in the evening. We eat breakfast in the morning. But we need to say at night, at noon, at midnight, by day, by night, and so on. With historical periods and events, for example, the Middle Ages, the Crimean War, but World War II. And with the words only, last, first, used as adjectives. For example, he was the first person to arrive. Okay, guys, do you have any questions here? Anything at all? No? No? If you do, please leave me a comment down below, and we are moving on. And we are moving on to when do we need to use them, and why, and even if we need to use them at the exam. So yes, we need them, and this is where we need them if we're talking about языке. So this is grammar, 19 to 24, absolutely, 100% yes. 25 to 29, also yes. 37, 38, which are your email and your written statement, absolutely. You cannot do without them, right? Otherwise, you will get a bunch of grammar mistakes. And of course, speaking tasks 2, 3, and 4. One is not mentioned here because one is just for you to read it. But if we're talking about task number 2, you will have the example of, I will talk about it a bit later, but if we're talking about speaking task number 2, where you need to ask questions, it is crucial, guys, to know where to do them, to put them, and where to use them. Because you're using or not using one simple article might change the whole meaning of what you're asking. And consequently, you may lose the point or you may get the point just because of this tiny little 3, 2, or 1 letter article that you have. And of course, if we're talking about number 3 and task number 4, in this case, we also need to use articles because the English language needs its articles. It doesn't function properly without them. So yeah, and it's a good thing that we have got only like 2.5, I would say, if we divide a and n. But yeah, that would be really, really nice. Okay, let's have a look at some examples. So this is the example from 19 to 24. We have got, the way I placed it here is this one. So I've got number, I've got the word that we need to do, and then we've got the next one. This is not a connected text, so please don't judge too harshly. It's just some examples. So let us start. There were many spectators. Parents, teachers, and classmates were all there to cheer and applaud the blah 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 fastest and most successful athletes in the school. So we've got fit here, right? And we've got the. So we will know because of this there that we need to put this adjective into the correct form, right? And what do we do when we see that? We just add est and we've got fittest, right? Fit test. Okay, next one. And then came the blah 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 moment of my life. My son said, but when you were a girl, it was alive then, right? And we've got here bed. So one more time, we've got the here. And it means that probably, like most probably, we will need to make the worst moment of my life, right? Worst. Okay, next one. The Great Wall of China runs for 6,700 kilometers from east to west of China. It is one of the blah, 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 blah wonders of the world. One more time, we've got the here. So it means that we just need to add est, and that's it. Of course, we've got some other uses of the, but this is the one that we are going to use right here. So this is just the example about 19 to 24 and how you knowing where to put, where not to put, where to use and where not to use the article can help you in this task. Okay? Okay. So the next one, 25 to 29. Also a very interesting one. It's the same, the structure is the same. This is a separate sentence, this is a separate sentence, and this is also a separate sentence. I don't have, for the purpose of the stream, this is not a text. So, as I already said, let's start. 25 to 29, as you probably remember, this is word formation. So let us have a look at it. Before phones, computers, and telegraphs were invented, messages would take months or even years to reach their destination. Samuel Morse was born in Charlestown, Massachusetts in April 1791, not knowing that he would be a famous blah blah blah. So why, and we've got invent here. So we will need a noun here, right? Right. And because we've got an adjective here, that is why we need a noun. How do I know that we need a noun? First off, I've got a, right? A symbolizes many things here. First off, it tells me that I need a noun. Second of all, it tells me that this noun should be singular. So what my train of thought is, a singular noun from invent. Invention or inventor. Well, it's not an invention because a person cannot be an invention, but a person can be an inventor. So a famous inventor, right? Right. So this is how this one letter helped me decide what to put in this gap. Okay, let's have a look here. Where a specialized service is required, the call for help is often made to a branch of voluntary, blah, 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 or charity. Okay, one more time. We need a noun. And how do I know that? Because I have this a here. And also, we need a singular noun, right? Right. So the singular noun, organize, it can be organizer, but I don't think so. Organization. And please bear in mind that you can use two spellings with a Z or with an S, depending on which variant of the English language you prefer. It can be British, and in this way in this case you will need to use S, so organization with an S, or if you prefer the American spelling, that would be organization with a Z. Okay, let us move on to the next one. It is a blah 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 of highly decorated holy temples and monuments. One more time, I've got a. It means that here should be a noun, and this noun should be singular. So from collect I can get a collector, which is, I don't think so, a collector. No, a collection. It is a collection, right? Okay, I hope it is clear, and I hope that you can, if something is unclear, please comment down below. Okay, so this was 19 to 24 and 25 to 29. Let us have a look at others. I promised you to talk about speaking task 2, and I promised you to talk about the difference that this simple word, the, a, article, makes. So usually you have got a bunch of prompts when we're talking about task number 2 in part speaking. And you are supposed to ask some questions according to those prompts. If you see this one, location, so what can you ask? What is the location of blah, 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 of this, I don't know, of this organization? Let's come back to the previous task, or of this collection, or of something else. So why is it so important? Because if you say, what is location of blah, 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 you're just asking for the meaning of the word location. It's not that you're asking about the place where it is located. You are just asking about the word location because you probably don't know it. So it is really, really important. If you say, what is the location of blah, 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 you will get the point. But if you say, what is location, you don't get the point because you are asking about a different thing. And if you are asking about a different thing, you don't get a point. So this is how your smallest article, just 3 letters, can mess up the whole point for you. And because you can ask several of those questions during your task number 2, it can mess up quite a lot. So let's have a look here. Location, done. We have talked about it. Let's have a look at competitive advantages. The same thing. You can ask, what are competitive advantages? Guys, if I ask what are competitive advantages, what will the meaning of this question be? Can you please comment below? So what the meaning will be? So if I ask what are competitive advantages. I'm asking about the meaning of these words. I don't know them, right? I don't know what is competitive. I don't know what is advantages. I just don't know the meaning. And in this case, I should know the meaning, because what I really need to say in this task is what are the competitive advantages, right? The same goes basically to everything here. What are the opening hours? What is the tuition fee? What is the duration of the course? What is the minimum age of students? So guys, really important. If we're talking about speaking task 2, the in this kind of questions is crucial, because otherwise you don't get your point. Okay? Well, I hope that this is clear, and I wanted to also mention that we have got also tasks 37, which is your email, 38, or 38.1, 38.2, doesn't really matter, which is your written statement, and also speaking task 3 and speaking task 4. So these 4 tasks are impossible to do correctly without the articles. Absolutely impossible. 37, 38, you need to write. And each time you don't use the article correctly, even if it's the same article, you just get one grammar mistake. Because each point when the article should be used and you don't use it, if it is a separate point of using it, or separate rule, it is a mistake. And you do know how many you have got there. For example, right, we were talking about the definite article. We've got 1, 2, 3, even more of them, more than 10 points of usage. So if you mess up with them, that is a very, very bad situation, guys. 38.1, 38.2 is the same. You also have to write them. You also have to use them correctly. So that is why it is really crucial and really important to know when to use them. Okay? And when we are talking about speaking task 3 and task 4, you might think that this is easier because this is speaking, but no, guys. The people who are checking your exams are very good at English, so they know when to use the articles and when not to use them. So when you do speaking, task number 3, task number 4, we have just talked about task number 2, but yeah, task number 3 and task number 4, you have to use your articles. This is absolutely important and absolutely crucial to remember. Okay, do you have any questions, guys? If you do, please leave me a comment. If you don't have any questions, let us move on with our stream today. And I will probably start speaking in Russian at this point. So, я хочу вам немножечко рассказать о подготовке к ЕГЭ по английскому языку у нас в онлайн-школе Учёба.ру. У нас тут с вами осталось март, апрель, май, ну и часть июня. Чуть-чуть, да, если мы говорим о ЕГЭ. Так что, у нас с вами осталось 3,5-4 месяца до экзамена. Это значит, что у нас с вами осталось примерно 25-30 уроков, это лекции и семинары. У нас с вами занятия проходят 2 раза в неделю. Что это значит? У вас есть лекция и у вас есть семинар. У вас есть 15-20 домашних заданий, и у вас есть ежемесячный пробный ЕГЭ и ежемесячный пробный ОГЭ. Я уже про них говорила, это 100% такие же экзамены, которые проверяют эксперты, которые дают абсолютно подробнейшую обратную связь. Ну и плюс это разговорный клуб. Разговорный клуб – это моя любимая штука, я его очень сильно люблю. Мы там говорим на самые интересные, самые волнующие темы. Например, на прошлом разговорном клубе мы говорили про технологии, инновации, гаджеты, думали о том, что же будет в будущем, что же уже есть такого крутого, угадывали гаджеты, придумывали свои, придумывали, какие же инструкции можно крутые сделать для тех, кто не умеет пользоваться каким-то гаджетом. Так что такая вот очень интересная штука. Это повод прийти и потренировать ваше говорение. Ну и я уже говорила, что у нас есть подробная проверка сложных задач с развернутой обратной связью и рекомендациями. Вот эти вот две вещи, они у нас взаимосвязаны. Guys, они взаимосвязаны. Потому что на каждое ваше развернутое задание, это 37, 38, 1, 2, 3, 4, все, что проверяется экспертами. 37 задание письменной части, 38 задание письменной части, задание 1, 2, 3, 4 устной части. Если мы говорим про ЕГЭ и про английский язык, и задание 35, задание 1, 2, 3 устной части. Если мы говорим с вами про ОГЭ, тоже про английский язык, это все проверяется экспертами, guys. Поэтому подробнейшая проверка сложных задач с обратной связью. Вы можете увидеть у себя в личном кабинете что-то типа «обратите внимание на произношение» или «вот это вот делается так, потому что вот так», а не так, как вы там написали. Так что, или наоборот, «О, как круто все написано, замечательная история, спасибо большое, все очень хорошо, супер, 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 вот вам, пожалуйста, 10 баллов за имейл в ОГЭ. Пожалуйста, замечательно». Дальше все это происходит, я уже сказала, в личном кабинете, и этот личный кабинет у нас находится на нашей специально сделанной интерактивной платформе для подготовки. Это абсолютно все, что нужно для обучения, и все это собрано в одном месте. А еще супер крутой формат и замечательный дизайн. Вам все, что нужно от вас, это зайти туда, и вы можете зайти туда, используя абсолютно любой девайс, который подключается к интернету. Компьютер – замечательно. Телефон – прекрасно. Планшет – окей. Телевизор – я не пробовала, но вполне возможно, что можно. Так что you're welcome. Там все, что нужно. Она замечательная, интерактивная, и все в одном месте. Дальше, если вы туда заходите и регистрируетесь в личном своем кабинете, логинитесь, то у вас сразу же выпадает удобное расписание и замечательный список дел. Вам понятно сразу, что нужно делать, как нужно делать, на какой неделе нужно делать. Там есть абсолютно все. У вас там есть уроки, как вот, например, вот тут вот. У вас там есть домашки, как, например, вот тут вот. У вас там, например, есть еще один урок, как, например, вот тут вот. Вы сразу видите, сколько по времени у вас примерно это займет, потому что тут проставлено время, или сколько заданий нужно сделать, если мы говорим про домашку. Пробники тоже тут, ваши все разговорные клубы тоже тут. Все в одном месте, в удобном, абсолютно замечательном расписании со списком дел на неделю. И я говорила уже про уроки. Я не говорила про то, что это интерактивные видеоуроки. Что это означает? Это означает, что у вас есть супер понятная теория с конспектами и с упражнениями для закрепления. Что это означает? Вы посмотрели видео, у вас есть конспект к этому видео, подготовленный уже для вас, потому что, вдруг вы чего-то там не поняли, а тут все замечательно, в схемках, в табличках. Можно посмотреть кратенькую выжимку того, что у вас есть в видео. А также, после того, как вы посмотрели вот это видео, у вас есть упражнения для закрепления. То есть, чтобы сразу потренироваться, чтобы сразу все было понятно. Так вот, у нас все вот это вот есть, все в одном месте. Домашки у нас замечательные. Домашки, я уже говорила, что без домашек мы жить не можем, потому что нам нужно понимать, куда вы движетесь, как вы движетесь, куда мы все вместе движемся и как мы движемся. И лучшие истории, чем домашнее задание, пока сложно придумать. Поэтому у нас есть домашки, в которых сразу понятно, правильно вы отметили или неправильно ответили. У нас вот тут, как пример, биология дана, и про науку, которая изучает грибы, микология. И дальше у нас написано про все остальные варианты, что же это такое, почему именно микология является правильным ответом. И мы тут ответили прекрасненько, замечательно, верно, получили свой thumbs up. Все наши правильные ответы стали зелеными, все неправильные потускнели, и дальше мы смотрим дальше урок и выполняем задание. Практические семинары это то, без чего, наверное, так же, как и без домашних заданий, невозможно себе представить обучение вообще ни одно. Это живое общение по видео с преподавателями. Это то, где вы можете задать все свои вопросы, если они у вас есть. Это то, где вы можете пообщаться с преподавателями, где вам преподаватель, если вдруг у вас чего-то непонятно, заново вам все объяснит, где вы сможете отработать все эти навыки, которые вам нужны на практическом семинаре во время живого общения по видео с преподавателем. Вот. Любые вопросы, любые комментарии, все приветствуется, все разбирается на всех семинарах. Я уже говорила про это ежемесячные пробники, это полные варианты ЕГЭ и ОГЭ, они нацелены у нас на проверку ваших знаний, и точно так же нацелены они на проверку, в принципе, на статистическую обработку того, куда мы движемся, чтобы мы понимали. У нас тут есть с вами задания, которые проверяются автоматически, например, в английском языке это все те же задания, которые проверяются компьютером, то есть это задания все до 36-го включительно, если мы говорим о ЕГЭ, и до 34-го включительно, если мы говорим об ОГЭ. Это проверяется системой автоматически, система у нас дотошная, она замечательная, точно такая же, как компьютер на экзаменах. Поэтому будьте внимательны при выполнении вашего пробника. И видите, тут есть такая штука, написано «проверяем». Это как раз-таки задание с развернутым ответом, который проверяют эксперты. Но я уже говорила, что в английском языке это задание 35, если мы говорим об ОГЭ, и 1, 2, 3, если мы говорим тоже об ОГЭ, устная часть, и это задание 37, 38, и 1, 2, 3, 4, устной части, если мы говорим о ЕГЭ. Это все проверяется экспертами. Вот. Ну и что еще есть замечательного? У нас есть прекрасные и удобные чаты с преподавателями в Телеграме. Вы можете просто задать любой вопрос, вам там ответят. Вы можете написать лично вашему преподавателю: «Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, очень рада вас видеть». Вы можете просто написать вашему преподавателю, и ваш преподаватель вам ответит. Можете сказать, что ой, что-то я там опаздываю, ой, например, я сегодня не приду. Вам скажут: пожалуйста, посмотрите урок, пожалуйста, посмотрите семинар и так далее. Или вот как вот здесь вот на скрине написано, что не получила, непонятно что-то. Так что вот так вот. Мы сразу стараемся отвечать, сразу стараемся разбираться со всеми вопросами, предложениями, пожеланиями. Да. Так вот, давайте смотреть дальше. А дальше у нас есть система уведомлений. Здравствуйте еще раз. Да, помогите нам с этим, будет замечательно. Присоединяйтесь, создавайте актив. Я буду очень рада. Так вот, система уведомлений, про которую я говорю, она у нас завязана тоже на Telegram. И вам туда приходят прекрасные, замечательные уведомления о том, что вот, ну, например, 10 минут до вебинара сочинения, или, например, твой список дел на сегодня, там, нужно посмотреть урок, у тебя там есть такая домашка и так далее. Такие вот хорошие дела. Дальше, 3 месяца до ЕГЭ у нас с вами стартует новый поток, запись у нас в новый набор, не придется вам догонять. Все основные темы обучения, скомпонованная специально для этого курса программа и формат интенсива у нас здесь. Самое приятное, что здесь есть, это скидка до 50%, Гайс, 50%, представляете себе, это замечательная, очень крутая скидка. Ну и что я вам хочу сказать, ждем вас у нас на занятиях, ставьте нам лайки, подписывайтесь на наш канал, нам поднимет настроение, понравится алгоритму YouTube, вы нас увидите в следующее воскресенье, и thank you so much, guys. Если у вас какие-то есть вопросы, пожалуйста, комментируйте, мы отвечаем обязательно на все комментарии. So thank you so much. I will see you next time. Goodbye.